are the Guinea Pig Collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome back to another Going Old School Retro Discussions. It's always a pleasure to see everybody, and I hope that you are doing well. What is going on, Keely Chow? I know everybody else is going to start filtering in a minute. There is Chris Fisk. What's going on, Chris Fisk? I know Adam, super fan Adam Shawhan was up in here earlier. And what's going on, Lasso Truth, guys? Be sure to share this one out. YouTube hates the guinea pigs. They are trying to suppress the guinea pigs. They hate our fuzzy cuteness, and they're going to try to put us down at every turn and in every corner. And it's absolutely annoying.
Anybody ever trying to take your manhood?
We ain't going to stand for it. We're not going to take it, unlike D. Schneider, who apparently takes it in the back door all the time. What's going on, Magtal Smurf? What up? So today we got our good buddy Jens with us. What's going on, Jens?
Yeah, so for the bad quality, or if you have some like music in that, because like I'm at my open mic night sort of thing. Well, it's another one, but yeah, so yeah, there might be like some noises in the background that like, yeah, if it gets so bad, just mute me.
Okay. Well, you can always mute yourself too if you want to help out.
Oh yeah, but I don't know how bad it is because I'm outside now, so it shouldn't be too bad.
No, it sounds all right now. What's going on, Wookie? Always good to see you, Wookie. So today I have a bit of an interesting one. Now, this is actually something I was going through, and I love seeing these damn things because when I'm going through old toys and I'm looking at the packaging and the way that they were marketing them back in the day, there was something about them that was so much different than today's packaging. Today's packaging is very bland, is very laissez-faire. There's almost nothing to it. I don't even know how kids get excited about some of these toys half the time, the way they're being packaged nowadays.
Yeah. Well, so it ain't so bad. But yeah, there is some though that they're just relying on the name, aren't they? So it's like, don't really matter. Stick them in like really crap boxes with just the name, and it's like, yeah, it'll sell.
Yeah, I mean, the old ones, they used to have like the figure on there, and I used to love when they used to have like the bios or, you know, like the code names, like the G.I. Joe had like the little classified files on the back of them. I used to love when they did stuff like that. I thought that kind of stuff was exciting.
Yeah. Give them sort of like a bit of info, because you'll know with this. With the Transformers, you had their stats at the back, but you could only see it when you put that red little sheet over it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, you probably could make it out if you really squint
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You had that little red, God, I forget what those little plastic sleeves are called. But, Chris Fisk says, if I hear porn music in the background, I'm going to call sus.
Well, no, if Chris has porn music in the background, hopefully I'm getting laid, so... with women and all, with real women that was born with a vagina. Just to make clear.
I'm just a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed that you had to include that, Jens. I thought it would just been.
Well, you never know. We never know in the porn industry. You know, you got to do some things to get up to the top. But yeah, only do natural women. But there again, though, you know that nowadays it's hard to tell. I'll have to count the ribs probably, unless I had a rib extra placed. I don't know.
Well, you know, back in the day, you used to be able to tell the real ones from the fake ones. Now it's getting harder and harder because they're hiding it. And what's going on? Nelson the Gentleman. Hail, everyone. Tommy, your biggest stunt. Nice. Awesome. Hey, Jens, I'm still down to come on tomorrow night. Let me know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Shadow Max, what up? I love Jens. I can't understand what he says, but I love the way he says it. Well,
yeah,
you can't understand.
baby.
You can't understand what he says because
He don't know talking good like me and you. So his vocabularistics is limited.
Yeah.
That was a setup.
Yeah.
Gail,
yeah. Me not so good.
Now, Jens can talk actually proper Queen's English if he so desires.
Well, of course I can, because I'm an Englishman. And you don't guess English what's it called? You don't get an English nationality without having an English accent.
Do you go out and do you practice it in the garage?
No. The garage is for I haven't got a garage.
Chris Fisk, I love package design. We really got the best of the best with our toys from the 80s. Absolutely. You know what? And even some of the 70 ones were pretty awesome. Grumlington, what's up? Hail, Tommy in the chat. Well, hell, back to you. Jesus, Nelson, that sounds horrific. What have you done? Oh, no. What's going on? Did I miss something? Mute your mic if you're getting late. Red Monarch, what's going on? Welcome.
Yeah,
I'd
have to mute the mic.
Shoots jet disc like 150 on eBay. Holy crap. Go ahead, Jens.
Yeah, I'd have to mute the mic because she'd be screaming so much. She'd be putting off the audience. They think I was killing her. You know, there's that fine line between pleasure and pain. So.
Oh, what are you, Pinhead?
Yeah.
Did she place first in an Olympic
I'm
swim?
just a no, I'm just a master love man. I know my art. I've well trained my craft.
Lasso Truth says it sounded like a massive bong rip. What's going on over there?
Yeah, well, it's open mic night, isn't it?
Pale Rider, what's going on? We're talking about Jens and his wild endeavors down at the local pub.
Well, a club, but it isn't pub. It's like shit. I won't say that. On air.
It doesn't have like no Thai boys in there, does it?
No, I don't have no bottled beer. It's all on draft. And there's only Carlin. And so I got Guinness. Carlin's like fucking pissed.
I refuse
and the fucking deal.
Pale Rider says, I refuse to mute the mic. You're going to listen to the slurps. Nice. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with this one. So the first one up I want to talk about is these old toy catalogs, like I was mentioning in the beginning intro. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to show you a few of the ones that I actually still have from years gone by. Hey everybody, what's going on? Helmet's here. Helmet, say hello to everybody. What's going on, people? Helmet's here with me today as we are going to take a look at something a little bit different. So we all know about how old toys, a lot of times they had a certain charm to them. They had a certain presence to them.
One of the things that a lot of these newer toy lines don't do is they don't really get you that interested. Most of these toy boxes on the back, maybe they'll show a figure or two, such as this. Yeah, they might give you a glimpse at something else on there, but they don't really tell you about the whole line. They don't get you that excited. Not like the old toys did. Like from Kenner, for example. This old Star Wars catalog. This is what kids got excited about, because now you could see all the different figures that were available, right, Helmet? Everything that you could possibly hope to see or know about was in these catalogs. This is something that is lacking with newer toy lines today. They just don't think about stuff like this. This is exciting for kids to be able to look through these catalogs and say, I want to get that one, I want to get this one. And you can physically show the people responsible for getting those wonderful toys for you exactly what it is. They knew the catalogs. They seen what you wanted. These are the things that I love to see when I would get those toys from long ago. To see the giant collection of figures, to be able to have something right in front of you, like, oh man, I didn't get that guy, or I didn't get this guy. And you could let somebody know. You could see them for yourself, see what they look like. This is what created a lot of repeat sales. Stuff like this. It wasn't always so much just the toys themselves and what they may or may not have shown on the back of the boxes.
Yeah.
So that's just the first part. I actually got a second part where I show off my favorite catalogs of all time, and I guess you're probably already going to know what that's going to be. Mikel Yulin, some TV show in Quebec, have a guinea pig as a host. I always think about you when I see it. Yeah, you know what? The guinea pigs are just a bigger part of this channel as I am. I mean, technically, I think sometimes they're a bigger part of the channel than I am, because without them, it wouldn't be the Guinea Pig Collective. I remember those. Yeah, I love those damn things. Man, I forgot about those things. I love those catalogs. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get right into the second half of this clip, and then we can go ahead and talk about it and talk about some of the catalogs that maybe you guys remember.
I still have quite a few of these old catalogs. Of course, you know, being a big Transformers fan, of course, I'm going to have that first generation catalog. I actually have a few of these still, surprisingly.
And of course, I have the Wave 2 from Generation 1 as well. And of course, I have the Wave 3 catalog.
Love these old catalogs. I just love having these things around. I used to check them off. And of course, last year I remember getting the big catalogs in there when they came out with all these different headmasters. Hey, where are you going? There is no escaping just yet. And of course, with those, also have some of the minis, like this old one for a reflector, which was a mail away. Yep, still have that too. The old reinforcements from Cybertron with power dashers on them. And of course, just some of the other things, of course, that you've seen with the figures, the little booklets with the artwork on them. It was stuff like this that really took it to a different level with all the toys. Even with the Gobots, they gave you these little holographic type of stickers with each one of them. Stuff they just don't do anymore.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know they had little book things. Because I was going to say, like, they had them with He-Man, didn't they? But I didn't know they had them with Transformers.
Yeah, like the He-Man actually came with the comic book, and it's inside the comic book. They actually showed off some of the toys from the line. Now, granted, they didn't show all of them like the Transformers one did, because the early runs of the Transformers all the way up into the Headmasters, they gave that catalog booklet that gave you every single figure that was actually in that wave of the line. And they used to do the same thing with G.I. Joe up into a certain year where they just stopped. And I remember a lot of the other toy lines did that shit as well. I mean, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles used to do it. They used to do it with some of the early Batman figures that came out, like from the '89 movie. And even some of the early Marvel and DC superhero figures that came out. They would give you these little catalogs in there to show you all the figures that were in the line. So you would go out and want to get them.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, like, on the back of the He-Man, and usually on other figures around the 80s, they would have, like, the line on the back sort of thing, where, not all of them, but, you know, other characters are like, oh, yeah. Especially if there's a new one coming out.
Oh, I mean, that was the thing. Like I said, He-Man would only show a few of them, but I don't know why they never included a catalog like a lot of the other ones did. What's going on, Soul Assassin? I remember when those came with the toys in Toys R Us magazine. Yeah, those things were cool as hell. Red Monarch, damn, I have one of those packed away somewhere in my collectibles. Yeah, you know what? And it's actually becoming harder and harder to find some of these old booklets in decent shape. Like a few of the ones I have are just like torn to shreds. Other ones, they look like they're brand new. I have the Robotech Jetfire as well. Love that toy. Yeah, Macross, the Macross freaking Robotech Valkyrie. Yep. Bandai eventually started selling that, of course, since they were a rival to Takara. That was one of the reasons why the Jetfire figure was never sold in Japan. Die-cast metal Transformers were the best. Yeah. Well, even the early Gobots, they had a lot of die-cast on them. I mean, really, if you look at some of those early Gobots, they had almost as much die-cast on them as the Transformers did. Sideswipe and Sunstreaker were my favorites next to Cliffjumper. Yeah. I have all of them. The only one I don't have from '84, I have a 2009 Bumblebee that was the keychain one. I have the 2009, but I don't have the '84 one. I got parts to a red Bumblebee, but it's broken up. Nice. You kept those in good condition. Yeah, a lot of them are in pretty decent condition. Tomy had the 90s beach orgy porn music play. You know what? I was just looking for music that I had sitting in my video editor, and that was the best thing I could find at the time. I reckon Tommy's going to have a Transformer museum for his collection. That guy has one for his Star Wars collection. Yeah, I've seen that guy. Holy crap, does that guy have a lot of stuff. I've seen somebody else has got a Turtles collection like that too. Brian the Observer, what's up? I had the Alligator Headmaster. Skull Cruncher, yep. I sold one of those years ago. And I know just recently they did this was probably like 2 years ago tops. They did a re-release of him because I seen it when I was out at I think it was like Walmart or somewhere. They changed the design a little bit, but it basically looks like the old one. Nah, transgenders, no. We don't want them. They could keep that stuff. They could transform right off the freaking face of the earth. Hopefully the world is flat so they can fall off of it. I had Power Master Optimus Prime. Yeah, that was another one I actually sold. I was not a big fan when they came out with the Power Masters and Target Masters and the Headmasters. I just wasn't a huge fan of that line. It's not to say some of the toys weren't good. They were, but I just wasn't as big of a fan as those. By then, they were almost 100% plastic too, and they broke a lot easier. And they kind of made me sad when they went in that line. The only thing that made it worse than the Target Masters, Headmasters, and Power Masters is when they started doing those Pretenders. I hated the Pretenders. God, they were awful. Now I regret getting a Megatron figure when I was at the store the other day. Oh, you regret not getting it or getting it? They had tons of Megatron figures on the shelves. Oh, okay. Are you talking about the dinosaur one? Because usually that's the only one I see anymore. Or are you talking about the little tiny core figure? So, what other catalogs do you remember that used to come with the old toys there, Jens? Or you tied up? Maybe you're tied up with the music. It's okay. Jens is used to listening to porn music right now. We're not going to disturb him. We're going to let him finish.
Yeah, it'll get the stream took down. I think because they're playing thingy music now, like commercial or registered.
Oh, the dinosaur one, yeah. I didn't like that one that much. I thought they could have did a lot better of a job. I know they actually started releasing remasters of the Beast Wars, actual labeled Beast Wars toys. I seen in like Rat Trap, and I think it was like Waspinator and a couple other ones. They didn't look half bad, but they almost look exactly like the old toys. It didn't even look like they changed much, which I mean, in a way, is kind of cool. If you wanted those original ones, you could never get them. Now they're actually re-releasing, but they flew off the shelf so fast. Like I seen them one time, and the next time I went to look to see what they had, they were all gone. Got to get the Beast Wars Dragon Megatron. Toy Biz Marvel figures was where it was at, especially the X-Men. Yeah, like I had a whole bunch of them, Brian. I had some of the, the ones that used to light up. Like they had, what was it? Mr. Sinister had light up eyes. They had I forget what the Magneto one did. I can't remember if he like lit up in the chest or something like that. But then they had Cyclops that had a light up eye. They had the Wolverine with the pop out claws. They had Sabretooth that had like a spinny compartment on his chest, so it looked like Wolverine had slashed his chest. Awesome stuff. What's going on? Snowdub Cotton Connection is in the house. What's up, man? But a lot of those toys, like even some of the early X-Men, they used to come with the little mini catalogs too. Granted, they weren't the size of some of the ones that Kenner was doing or the ones that Hasbro was doing with the Transformers or the ones that G.I. Joe were originally giving out. But those catalogs really is what got the kids looking for the rest of these figures. Because if you go out to the store and you're just looking and you're browsing, you may not know everything that's out on the toy stores, on the shelves at that time. Because it wasn't like we had computers where we can go online and see, what's everything that's coming out in this wave? We didn't know. So when you got those catalogs, you knew every single figure that was going to be out in that line, so you could actually be on the lookout for them. And I still think, even in today, with all the stuff that you have on the internet, it's just so much nicer to be able to open up a package, pull out a catalog, and sit there at your leisure looking at this catalog and seeing everything you want. Take the damn catalog with you to the freaking store and look for shit, start checking them off. I used to check them off all the time. Magneto had real magnets in his hands. Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, I couldn't remember. It's been so long. Like, I used to have all those, and they all got stolen. Drove me absolutely bonkers. The only ones I have left is I have like 2 or 3 different Punishers. I have about 3 different Venoms. I have a Green Goblin, Silver Surfer with his board, and I think I have Thor. I think that might be it. I forget. Maybe a Spider-Man. I can't remember. All the X-Men ones I had, though, all got swiped. Boy, that pissed me off. I miss those catalogs. I always found it odd to see figures that never appeared in the cartoon shows. I had an old Thundercats catalog, and most of the figures featured never made it to the show. There were some of those ones, though, Chris. There was a few of them. They did make it onto the show, but they only made like a single appearance in a single episode, and then you never seen them again. And then they had other ones that were on the show, and then came to the toy line afterwards, like Wile E. Kit and Wile E. Cat, because they weren't part of the original lineup of the toys. They came later on. Hail, friends. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you too, Snow. Ever had those toys that changed when you put them in hot or cold water? Yeah. I had a few of those. At one point, actually, Transformers did that too. Trying to remember what they called them. I think that was part of the Gobots line from Transformers. This was after Hasbro had actually acquired the rights from Tonka for the Gobots name and the franchise names and all that stuff. When they acquired that, they started reusing a lot of the names from that franchise. And one of the things that they did is they had a line just called Gobots. And they actually had a single figure just called Gobot, too. It was kind of weird. I do have the Silver Surfer with his board. And I believe, if I remember correctly, that board has actually got the wind-up feature on the bottom of it. So it's got like kind of like the, almost like it's got a slipper platform to his board. So his feet kind of slide into the board and nestle into it. And I believe it's got like a pullback motor on the bottom of the board. Most of the Ninja Turtles came from the comics. Most of the Ninja Turtles figures came from the comics. Well, most of the original Ninja Turtle toys, yeah, they came from the comic that they did at Mirage Studios with oh God, why am I blanking on their names? I've said it a million times over, and I know their names. And right now, I'm blanking on their names. I don't know why I'm blanking on their names yet. But when they made that stuff for Mirage Studios, and that guy Mark Friedman actually went to, oh God, why am I blanking on their names? But when he went to them, he actually is the one that suggested that they turn it into a toy line, or do all this other stuff with the Ninja Turtles, because they had no real desire to turn them into toys or any other kind of merchandise. They were just kind of happy with the comic as it was. Mark Friedman is one that pushed them into toys, and eventually, Playmates said they wanted a cartoon to be able to help sell it. And then Mark Friedman was also pushing for the movie, and he was actually pushing for the movie much earlier than it wound up getting released, because he wanted to push the movie in 1989. It was like 1988 or 1989. He was pushing for the movie. Like it was like right after the toys started hitting big. He says, you got to just keep on and keep hammering with it. That's how you make money. That's how you make the franchise bigger. And that's actually technically how you wear the franchise out too quick too.
Strike while so irons up, as I say. Like an iron that you iron clothes with.
Yeah, strike while the iron's hot. Luffy is God. What's going on? Black Star and the Overlord had spark functions. They were basically lighters. You know what? And there's another one. Wookiee, have another drink. Transformers had that too. They had spark bots. And what was it? Was it Sparkcons, or I can't remember if it was Sparkcons or what it was. But they had three little Decepticon figures, and they had three little Autobot figures that actually had that sparking action. Then they also had the Monster Bots on the Autobot side, which were actually much larger figures, and each one of those had that sparking action as well, because there was like a little lever on the back. I had the G.I. Joes that change color in the sun. Yeah, Zartan was one of those. Xandar, and I think Zorana also changed color, if I remember correctly. The fast-talking Micro Machine guy did the voice of Blur in 1986. Yeah, oh God, what's his name? Macchiato or something? I seen the original Ninja Turtles, same figures and same packaging at Walmart, just brand new. I had a flashback. I remember they were $5 now they're $15. Yeah. You know what, Snow? If you've seen them, I would pick them up, because they're selling for a decent amount of money on the secondary market. I've actually been looking for them everywhere, but every time I go out to the stores, I can never find them. They're gone off the damn toy shelves around me. Laser Light Black Star was an insanely dangerous toy line. I had them all. Yeah, go ahead, Jens.
I said, Ninja Turtles, yeah, they're usually a big seller with kids and that. And they'll usually will buy all four.
Have you ever seen where the kids would go with the parents into the damn. I mean, I know I used to see this when I was younger. I mean, even today you see it every once in a while. But the kid go in there like, I can't just have him. I gotta have him, and him, and him. And
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, they're a team, aren't they? It was like with the A team, I couldn't just have like Annabelle Smith or Bad Murdoch. I had to have them all.
Well, and that was the trick too. Like 9 times out of 10, when you go out to these stores, and if it's like a team of figures like that, I don't care if it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or if it's Transformers, Wookiee, have a drink, and you're getting the Constructicons, have another drink, because technically that's 2 mentions. There's almost no chance that you're going to go onto the toy shelf and you're going to find all those figures that are part of a group. So if it's Transformers, it's all the Constructicons, you're almost never going to find all 6. If it's the turtles and you go in there, more than likely you're not going to find all 4 turtles at the same time. But on the rare chance that you did, that would have been like, for me, when I was a kid, that would have been one of those rare exceptions where I would bug the living shit out of my parents to try to make them get all of them. Because like, when are you going to see them all again? When are you going to see them all again? It's almost never going to happen.
And the parents usually do, because they know if they don't, then they've got to fucking like order it and then fucking fuck around with all that.
The OG Megatron toy is banned in New Jersey and most airports because it transformed into a Walter P-38 and it's metal. Well, there's a little bit of metal in there, but there really isn't that much metal in Megatron. There's metal in the bottom leg section, the feet, and there's a little bit of metal in the back end of the chest where the barrel swings around. And the extensions out to the shoulders of the arms. That was it. I mean, there was actually a whole lot of plastic on Megatron, and I only know that because I've taken them apart so many different times and put them together because I've had so many broken lots of Megatrons. Yeah, there's a whole lot of plastic parts on there that snap, and 90% of the time, it's always the damn chest and the arms that snap apart. Yeah, let's go back to the days when they sold us toy catalogs instead of political ones. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Keck44, what's going on? Howdy. Driving. Hail all. Well, I hope that you were doing well. Be safe out there, buddy. Chris Fisk is saying hi. Snow Dub. Wow. Okay, I'll grab them if I see them again. I absolutely would. I absolutely would. I've seen some people where they've already been selling them for at least double the cost of what they are in the store. Damn. That drinking game would work. That's going to be the drinking game that's going to get you through the rest of this year, Wookie. I guarantee it, because I'm going to say Transformers as many times as it takes. They used to sell the combiners in a combo pack. Yeah, but you know what? That was actually a very rare find, Brian, because they had it was a special gift set that they had for all the Constructicons. And they actually had the same thing for the aerial bots and the Technobots, oh God, what was it? The Protectobots and the Stunticons. Oh, and the Combaticons. They had special gift sets where they had them all in there, but it was a rarity to find because usually they only had them at like Comic-Cons and stuff. That wasn't something that you would actually pick up in a regular store. Now, I know that there was some years ago, they were trying to do something similar to that with some of the newer releases when they had the Fall and War for Cybertron figures. They were actually making like these big gift packs with a whole bunch of different figures in it. But yeah, once again, that was kind of a rarity. They don't do that very often. And they only started doing it again recently with the Siege War for Cybertron, or, the War for Cybertron line in general, but they started it off with the Siege line of that, where they were actually having double or triple packs of figures. So, yeah, for a long time, yeah, that was like Comic-Con exclusives or some kind of special event where you would actually pick them up because it was something that you wouldn't see in the regular store, and that was one of the things that made it really hard for a lot of people to collect those Gestalt figures, or the ones that are multiple figures. I mean, they were hard to find because it was hard to get all the ones in the collection a lot of times. When I was younger, I was actually really fortunate because I had a friend of mine who had a gift set that his parents had got him from a Comic-Con, and it was all the aerial bots. Unfortunately, that thing got stolen, so having that wonderful gift box with all the figures in it is a moot point now for me. Oh, you know what they were doing? That wasn't Yeah. They were actually, I think, packaging them like that in KB Toy Store, because when they sold all those combiner figures, they were all sold individually. Now, I know there were certain stores that were actually taking some of those, because KB used to do this too. And you might remember this one, Brian. When they were selling the figures for the Phantom Menace, they actually had a few 4-packs of Phantom Menace figures that they sold in KB Toy Store. And they marked it up as like a KB Toy Store exclusive. They were just the regular figures that they got a special cardboard 4-pack holder just to put the four figures in it. It didn't come from the factory like that. That was actually something that the toy store did to try to increase sales. And KB, of course, did that because they got all those figures on markdown, and it's easier for them to sell a big 4-pack of figures at a markdown price than it is than try to sell the individual figures, where certain ones are just going to always get left on the shelf. So they would take the figures that didn't sell as well, and they would mix them up with ones that sold a little bit better, so they could try to get rid of 4 of them in one shot. Yeah, KB was famous for doing stuff like that. Is there anything else that you want to say on the catalogs, Ans?
No, not much. I didn't really clean much with the catalogues and that, because like, I would just got the toy out and started fucking playing with it and that. So yeah, but they should bring them back though.
They should. They should. I miss those days. Chris Vest, the KB Toy Shops here in New England used to have those giant plexiglass display cubes featuring all of the Transformers in a battle diorama, and they had little letters and stickers near their feet. Yeah, I do remember some of the toy stores doing that. I want to say it was Kitty City used to do that one time too. Like, if you might remember Kitty City, Chris, because that was like a Northeast thing. Kitty City was basically one of the biggest toy stores in the Northeast for a long time, until Toys R Us came along and pretty much, kicked them right off the spot, as it were. But Kitty City used to have some of those little setups like that as well, and that was really nice to see, because you go in, you see all the figures set up. And it was just like they did on the Transformers catalogs. Like, they had them all set up at fighting poses. They would do the same thing on the G.I. Joe catalogs. I mean, kids go in and see that, and that would just like, oh, I want to get those. I want to get those in, because they're actually looking the same thing you would do with the catalogs. And they did a good job with the box art. Yeah, they absolutely did. I actually have a whole booklet with all the box art from the G1 line of Transformers. Some of it's the original artwork from the boxes where they just kind of touched them up, and other ones they had to completely redo. They said because it was hard to actually find boxes in good enough shape to copy the artwork. So yeah, but they used to do amazing stuff for the box work, for the boxes back then. And even like I said, look, with the Transformers, the little packing instruction booklets where they would have the artwork on those now. Like, you see some of the artworks on the stuff they have now, it looks like a black and white photo of the toy that they just put on the instruction sheet. So it's nothing really fancy. It's nothing special. It's an instruction booklet, big whoop. But like the ones back then, I mean, yeah, you had the character in there in full color, like you would see on the front design of the box. And sometimes the way the boxes were designed, you didn't see the full character. So in the little instruction sheet is when you actually seen the full character, what he was supposed to look like. Hell yeah, the Sectors, Warriors of Symbion display dioramas were insane. They used to have some hanging from strings. Nice. I know that was another one of those lines that didn't last very long. Sectors, what was it? The Silverhawks, that was another line that didn't last very long. And they would get little play setups for them, but yeah, just unfortunately they didn't have the promotional backing behind them like a lot of these other franchises did. And that's why G.I. Joe really took back off after it had been dormant for so long when they brought it back in 82. And they used that same success with the Transformers when they launched that in 84. They knew what they were doing by then. And they made a mint off that stuff. all that marketing, all the artwork, the catalogs, the box art, the cartoons, the comics, and then, of course, typical ads that you would have in papers, on TV, and even in comic books. All that stuff was all part of the huge success for some of these franchises. And unfortunately, things like Sectors, Silverhawks, Supernaturals, and a few others, which were decent-looking toys, they just didn't have any kind of longevity because they didn't have all that marketing behind them that these other lines did. But we're going to run and we're going to hit toy break time.
Anytime you go near this cage, you are taking the risk of Jumper getting your toes. Right, Jumper? Always on the lookout for those toes. And here we have a classic reproduction of the 1959 first edition of Risk. Now, Risk was created in 1957 by French film director Albert Lamourais, who had originally released it under the title The Conquest of the World. Now, this military strategy game was renamed 2 years later by Parker Brothers as Risk. As you can see, this one actually holds very true to the old style board game, but of course that classic map design and the little wooden pieces. It's a very interesting set to see, and I remember when I seen this one at Target and seen it in that classic looking design, I had to pick this one up. I'm pretty sure somewhere in the rubble of stuff that I retrieved from my father's house, there may actually be one of these, an older style one. Just doubt very much that it looks in this good of shape.
Risk. Capture Australia to win the game. Yeah, the last diorama I recall seeing before Child World closed its doors was for a toy line called Cops Fighting Crime in a Future Time. I do recall that line. I know Slasher McSplitter talked about Cops quite a few times. That was one of the ones that I never collected. I remember seeing it, but yeah. Solar Warden, what's going on? My parents have an old school Risk game from the 70s, maybe older. Nice. I know I have a few of them. Like, I actually have a few of the old Monopoly games, too. Like, I'm pretty sure the one I have is from 1950-something. I don't have the real old one, which I think that was 40, what was that, 40-something, 47, or I forget exactly. I would have to look that up, but I know there's one, like, it's from the 40s. The one I have, I think, is like somewhere in the 50s. Then I have one from the 60s, one from the 70s, and then some of the newer ones all the way up to the last one I think I picked up was a World of Warcraft Monopoly board, but that was some time ago. What's going on, author Stephen Walton? Hail to the chat. Lotar Risk rocks. I've never seen the Lord of the Rings Risk. Risk with the wooden pieces. Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. When I seen that, I had to pick that up. Because I remember the ones with the little plastic pieces, but I always liked those little wooden pieces. I don't know. There was something about the way those things were made back then that they were, I don't know. It was just something different about them. It's kind of like the old Lincoln Logs. I like the old wooden Lincoln Logs, man, because you could take those things and use them to beat your damn younger siblings too, because those things are hardcore. Sorry, man. I hate Monopoly. I know Monopoly's not for everybody. Monopoly's one of those games that usually, though, most people have probably played it and most people know about it because there's been so many different iterations of the damn game made over the years. Pretty quiet there, Jens. Jens must be listening to more porn music.
No, listen to this dope. He doing some Jimi Hendrix. Doing some like Hey Jude. Doing real good now. Yeah. Better talk over this one because it might get picked up. If you play it too good, people like YouTube thinks it's real.
They might try it anyway.
Yeah.
They've done it for less. My favorite board game by a mile, Settlers of Catan. Yeah. Hey, Brahma Bull, what's going on? I hope you are doing well. Monotony. I remember when they were actually poking fun at the millennials. That was actually kind of amusing. And you know, I still sometimes kind of wonder if they weren't poking fun at the feminists too when they did that Monopoly or the Monopoly or whatever the hell it was. Monopoly for the freaking feminists and shit. I wonder if they weren't poking fun at them then too, because it sure does seem like Hasbro doesn't care half the time about what people think. I mean, that's why they dropped IDW, because IDW is putting all that nonsense into their comics with G.I. Joe and Transformers, and then Hasbro dropped them like a hot potato and said, "Yeah, you're done. You're out of here." Yo, Slasher, what's going on? I hope you were doing well, buddy. I'm surprised you didn't just jump up here, too. Catan is the most boring game on the planet. Chris. you know what's a fun game? You know what's a fun game, Wookie? Oh, go ahead, Ken.
It's one of them games where you got to be in your forties to, like, want to play it.
So Wookie, I got a game for you. Are you ready? Rock'em, Sock'em, Transformers, Robots. There you go, buddy. Drink. A favorite board game called Ouija. Yeah, you know what? My daughter is heavily into the Wiccan type stuff. And when she seen that I had a couple of old Ouija boards, she took them out of my father's house and ran with them, saying that I wasn't allowed to touch them because I was going to do something evil with them. Like, really? Really? I did manage to steal one back from her, and the one I took back was from the 70s. So I like Risk board game until I lost my 25 armies against one army to roll the dice. Yeah, you know what? Every once in a while, I get on these lucky rolls when I play Risk. And one friend of mine, he said he would literally call it the Jesus rolls. He's like, there you go with the Jesus rolls again. You got one army in there, and you just took out 20. Sometimes it just kind of works like that. Share the link and smash the like. Absolutely. Because YouTube hates guinea pigs. They're suppressing us. They're trying to steal our hay. They're trying to take away our bedding. It's not nice. It's not cool. We tried to contact Kurt Cobain in high school. My friend was moving it. Joke's on you. I don't drink. Well, damn it, Wookie. Toke up. Another dab. They knocked my block off. Ever play the old action shooter game, Crossbows and Catapults? Yeah, my friend actually had that damn game. Game had the fast microtransactions I can recall, different shooters and targets. Yeah. The thing is, usually somebody always wound up losing the little targets that you would shoot out of them. That's what my friend wound up doing. He wound up losing them. Like, he shot them out and they went off the board and they went somewhere down the steps and got lost somehow. Good stuff, Comic Skater. What's going on? There's a Star Trek version of Catan. It's a little better to play than the original. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen that one. There was like a few other of those type of games that I'd seen the remakes with different franchises that I wanted to pick up, and I'll be damned if I can remember all the ones I've seen. I do have 3 different Star Wars Monopoly game boards. Like I have one, I think it's like it's the original trilogy. I have one that's the prequel movies, and the other one I think is a mix of all 6 of the movies, I think, if I remember correctly. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, crossbows and catapults was amazing. I got it for Christmas.
Yeah, I had that, but you had to have a like nice smooth floor, or get like a nice big sheet of like cardboard or whatever, or have a smooth carpet.
Well,
yeah.
My buddy had some kind of oversized game board that he just used to use.
Yeah,
so, yeah. You just turn the oversized game board upside down and use that.
Yeah, well, like I just used to use it on the carpet and that, but it was like a really thin carpet, if you know what I mean. So it slid across all right, but you couldn't have any lumps in the carpet though. It had to be really smooth, or else your catapults were all right, but your crossbows were crap.
Hit a snag in the carpet and fly up and hit somebody in the eye.
Yeah.
Shadowhawk Backs, welcome again. What's going on? Yeah, Wookiee is not feeling that. A Trekkie version of Catan? Shoot me. Wookiee has a problem with Star Trek. $160 on eBay. Some of the prices they sell some of that stuff for, like I have an old Hero Quest game with I think it's 100% complete. Yeah, it is 100% complete, and I think nothing is actually broken on it. The box is a little damaged. When I was looking at some of the prices that people were selling that original Hero Quest game for, some of the prices actually astounded me. Because I remember when I picked that game up at Toys R Us, and this would have been like late 80s that I picked it up. It was going for damn near nothing because it was on discount. Like nothing. Nobody was buying it at the time. And I think I might have picked that whole damn game up for maybe about $20 at the most. And that was a pretty big board game with all those plastic pieces and everything in there. Yeah, I got it for nothing. Because I think originally it was like a $40 game. I went out and I picked up the expansion packs because they were on discount at Toys R Us too. Man, I miss the days going to the Toys R Us, going to KB Toy Store, and going back further, going to Kitty City all the damn time. I miss those things. I mean, I know you didn't have any of those over there.
Yeah, well, Risk though is better to play on a computer game, because then it like I've to set up on Risk it takes a bit.
Well, you know what? It's like a lot of those different games like that, the strategy type games. They're fun to play if you're in a big enough group. Doing one-on-one isn't bad, but if you got a bigger group, that's when those games are fun. There was another one that's actually a competitive strategy game like that. It's called Axis and Allies, and it takes place during World War II, and depending on which one you get, it's a different point of World War II. But holy crap, the setup for that game is insanely long. Like, it takes no shit. It takes like anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour to set up the damn game board just to start playing.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Well, it's because you got to set up all these little pieces, like different tanks and different soldier units and all these different parts all over the entire world. Like even the USA, setting up things there, and battleships and all the stuff in the water. Like it's crazy insane with the amount of stuff. Like one of these days I'll have to pop that thing out and I'll probably put it in a toy break just to show off how ridiculous it is. Yup, that is a long game. Yeah. And you know what? Solar Warden, we sat there. I was playing it with about 5 of my friends. So we were playing it, and I shit you not, 6 hours later, we finally wrapped up the game. 6 hours later. It was insane.
Yeah, like Monopoly, but yeah, it's one of them where, yeah, make a full day.
Yeah, KB, man, I cleaned up in that place. Yeah, so did I. We used to go there all the time. Yeah, such a good game. I love Axis and Allies, but it's just too damn long to set up. What's up, awesome one? Yo, Tommy. Like Risk on meth? Oh, no. We're trying to stay away from that. Yeah, you wind up getting into a lot of trouble, and then you wind up on the Tucker Roll show, and you're a strung out puppet. Yeah, don't do that to Snow Dub. Stay away from the meth. Drugs are bad. Okay. I could see that. Yeah, it's fun times though. I mean, I still enjoy the game. I just hate setting it up. I hate setting it up, and I hate breaking it down and putting all the damn pieces away. Drive me absolutely bonkers. All those damn pieces. You have to put them in a little styrofoam cup so you didn't lose them.
Yeah, it's always better to have it on the computer. Yeah, I think.
Well, yeah, they had the Risk one on the computer, but there was something kind of lost in translation, I think, when you're playing on the computer. Now, I know the one that I got, it was kind of weird because they had like these zombie guys in it. Like, one of the ones were like zombies or something. Yeah. I think one was supposed to be like a China. It was like a General Meow. Yeah. A freaking cat. Yeah, it was like, yeah, I had that one. I think it was on Xbox 360, if I remember correctly. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't quite as fun as playing the actual board game. Board game itself, I thought, was better. Problem is most kids nowadays don't even want to mess with board games.
Nah, it's all that setting up though, isn't it? And it's like kids don't even like waiting for a computer game to load in. Never mind setting up half-hour game.
Well, that's the thing with some of those games. Sometimes the setup was extremely long. Like I was saying, the Axis and Allies one, the Risk didn't actually take that much time to set up. Because once you figured out who went first, everybody just places one of their markers on the board, one of their little armies on the board until they fill up the whole damn board. So, I mean, there was that. It didn't take that long unless you had somebody sitting there trying to strategize as they're placing little pieces on the board. But, yeah, it shouldn't take that long.
Yeah, well, chess takes about 2 or 3 minutes to set up. And that's if you're real good at it, setting up. But kids, there's lots of the art of setting up games.
What was it, Chairman Meow? I thought it was General Meow. It might be Chairman Meow. Crack is awesome. Solar Warden says, "Hey, it's not a board game, but who remembers robotics?" I remember robotics. It was kind of like, oh God, what was the earlier one? The one that was all metal. Connects, I think it was. I think it was called. Well, no.
Yeah.
I forget, because robotics was kind of like, it was another one of those where you put things together, right, Solar Warden? Like you build stuff with it?
Meccano.
Transformers Risk is okay. Mousetrap took too long to reset. Yeah. I hear that. I always wanted to get the Transformer Risk one, but I could never find it. The only thing I ever found with Transformers as far as games is I think I found a chess set. And unfortunately, I didn't like the chess set that I picked up, and I didn't realize it when I walked out of the store, but it was a shit-ass Michael Bay movie. What's going on, Gap Stargate? What's going on, Jens' place? Jens is actually out. He's out at the soy club right now. He's listening. He's out at the club. He's actually listened to a few bands, so he's muting his mic every once in a while because music's getting kind of loud. There was always one guy carefully considering every wrist piece. Yeah.
You can listen. I think he stopped though. I don't know. Oh yeah. Yeah, he sounded a bit salty.
It had motors too. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, that is one I'm thinking about where you'd build this stuff. Okay. Is Jens at a karaoke bar? Right. I was close.
There's an open mic night.
That's what they all say, Jens. You just tell us the truth.
Anybody ever try to take your manhood?
Who's killing a cat? Oh no. I really thought I was going to hear some Johnny Rotten from those guys, and I was so disappointed. That's not what I heard. Instead, he's got like Jimi Hendrix and everything else going. What's going on over there, Jens?
Hello, world.
No national pride, no Exploited, no Sex Pistols. I am so disappointed right now. Tell those guys to go back to the garage and play.
Yeah, it should be some Sex Pistols. Yeah.
I swear to God, if I hear the Beatles playing, you're probably going to hear Wookie talking about he's going to get your address. I think Wookie hates the Beatles too.
Hey, the Beatles are good. Beatles are good.
Either a karaoke bar or an exorcism. Oh no.
No, it's an open mic night. But you can go up and do whatever you like on an open mic night. So
you can do whatever you want within reason.
Yeah, well, we're pretty tolerant in that, when it comes to music, because not many people can play instruments and all. So yeah, if you can get up there.
Solar Warden said just got the Buzzcocks LP on vinyl. Nice. I remember back in the day, there was a lot of the record shops who used to sell the old vinyls. Like you would get used ones, but they'd be in excellent shape, and you would get them for a song and a dance. Like some of them would wind up being under $5 for a damn vinyl, and they were going for brand new in the stores, especially up in the malls for like, I think it was like $19 at the time. It was like in between 15 and 19, because I know there was a bit of a price jump at one point. Like at one point it was like $14.99, and then all of a sudden it jumped up to like $18.99 or $19.99. It was actually nuts how much it jumped in a short amount of time. The Beatles are the most overrated boy band in music history. Oh no. And Slasher says the Beatles suck a fat one.
The Beatles are good though. You can say they're overrated, but they are good.
What's going on, Cowsoy? Doing all right. I hope you are well. One other thing, guys, real quick. Make sure if you haven't, thoughts and prayers for Drew. His mother actually went through surgery early this morning, and it's a bit of touch and go, and he's not even 100% sure if she's going to make it out. But I have high hopes, and I have good thoughts, so I think she will. Vinyl is damn expensive now. Yeah, I don't know if you've looked, Solar Warden. Have you seen all the exclusive ones that they're selling at Target right now? Target's actually selling a lot of vinyl, and man, some of those things look really cool with the colored vinyl that they're doing. Oh no, Wookie says Justin Timberlake is the same thing as John Lennon. Oh no.
Yeah, well, if Justin Timberlake could play the guitar and piano as good as John Lennon, he'd have more hits.
Chris Viss says he liked the Monkees. Hey, you're a monkey. Awesome. I'm into that, Wookie. Yeah, prayers to Drew and his mom. I hope she pulls through. Just a shame that people have to go through that. And I was telling Drew when I was on the phone with him, I tell you, you never really prepare for this kind of stuff. And no matter how much you say you are, usually you're not, because there's always something you wish you would have did or something that you left unsaid. That's why, I say everything up front. Monkeys, the Beatles. Monkeys over the Beatles. Oh, nice. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a daydream believer.
Are you getting mad, Jens? Are you going to get the Wookiee?
Oh, well, if you're comparing the Monkeys to the Beatles, it's like comparing fucking, I don't know, crap Coke compared to original.
Yeah, Solar Warden. Yeah, Target. Go check that out. I was actually surprised because I know they started off with a very small collection of LPs that they were doing, like NWA, Straight Outta Compton, like all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden they started bringing more and more and more LPs because actually the LP market has gone up while the CD market has gone down in the toilet. And Target has a whole bunch of store exclusives with colored LPs. It's really cool looking. Justin Timberlake is the Antichrist. Led Zepp over the Beatles. Oh, I would definitely agree with that.
Oh, wow. I think you'll find it is a close race, but the Beatles take it.
Rolling Stones over the Beatles.
Well, that's a draw.
Wookie says his loud farts over the Beatles.
Oh. Yeah, well, I don't think Wookiee appreciates great 60s music.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin is amazing, and they've been copied so many times. I mean, they were using it as part of a commercial for when they were doing, what was that? Was that Ragnarok that they were using it for? Or was it one of the or was it Infinity Wars? They were using it for one of them. They had I think it was Immigrant Song that they were using, if I'm not mistaken. Thin Lizzy over all of them.
Yeah, good band, good band.
Solar Warden says Led Zeppelin is the greatest band to have walked the earth.
Wow.
Yeah, Glenzer. Yeah, I thought so. Immigration Song.
Yeah,
Ragnarok.
Go.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I do remember them playing it for like TV commercial spots and everything like that.
Yeah, the didn't you usually let the songs get played in films that like really wouldn't let anyone play the songs, but I think they let Jack Black do it in School of Rock, and so now they're swinging. I think now not bothered.
Oh no! Kick 44, Millie Vanilli over Wookiee supremacy. Oh no! Any song about Vikings is win. Yeah, you're damn right. I think that, a lot of people didn't. I know when I was younger, a lot of people didn't realize Immigrant Song was about Vikings.
Yeah, I just thought it was someone who I thought it was Eskimos.
Because they come from the land where the harsh wind blows.
I thought it was they come from the land where the snow wind blows.
No, from harsh winds blow.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. There was Eskimos. I thought it was all about Eskimos.
Yeah, they go into a whole bit about it. I think. I think at one point they even talk about taking slaves in the song, if I remember correctly. I mean, it's been a while since I've actually listened to the whole song, like as far as like really listen to the lyrics. But I think there was one part where they're talking about slaving people. Come on, Black Sabbath, Iron
I
Maiden,
don't
Megadeth.
know. All I remember is
Wookiee supremacies. I have to admit, Milli Vanilli does lip sync better than I do. Well, apparently not, because they got caught. Led Zeppelin song was in Ragnarok twice, once at the beginning and again near the end of the movie. Oh, okay. No greatest rock band is Queen. Come on. A lot of people with shite taste in music in here. I'm not creative. What's going on? We're having a war of the music bands right now, apparently. I thought it was from A Land Down Under. No, that's a completely different song.
Yeah, that's Men at Work.
Vikings gonna Viking. Yep. Come from the land of the ice and snow. Yeah. And about where the harsh winds blow. Mm.
Yeah, well, there we go. Yeah, I knew there was snow in it and that. Yeah, that's why I thought Eskimos.
Well, you thought wrong, sir. You had to listen to all the lyrics.
Yeah, but like, all you're really hearing in that is Robert Plant going That's it.
So you're gonna make me look up the damn lyrics, because it was somewhere right in the beginning, and they tell you, okay, we come from the land of the ice and snow, from the midnight sun where the hot springs flow. The hammer of the gods will drive our ships to new lands to fight the horde, sing and cry, Valhalla, I'm coming.
Yeah.
And then he says, on we sweep with threshing oar. Our only goal will be the western shore. That's when he does that. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, well, that's the thing. But I was just concentrating on like the bit and then the guitar by Jimmy Page.
Now, wouldn't that be interesting if there was a dentist you went to and he played that song and he told you, yeah, okay, nah, never mind. Slasher says, Men at Work over the Beatles.
Oh, well, Sasha's having that laugh, isn't he?
I'm not creative 22. Iron Man, smash the like button. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, Slasher likes his crap corny stuff, so... But even though Men at Work ain't crap, but they are corny.
I was being silly saying the land down under. Link to Yen's channel. I come from a land down under. Yeah. Beatles Come Together was used for Justice League. Iron Man used AC/DC, and Black Sabbath 20th Century Rock is supreme.
I come from the land down under, where soy-nerds fucking read Wonder Woman comics and do Lego Star Wars builds.
Oh no! Oh no! You're gonna have Raging Rhino having a fit if he hears you saying that. Iron Maiden is the best band in music history. Y'all are tone deaf sheeple. Oh boy.
Yeah, Iron Maiden is good.
You know, I almost had a chance to see them. Almost. But they were on the Ozfest tour, and apparently they had pissed Sharon off right before they got to the town that I had tickets for. They got pulled. They got pulled from the tour right before I was going. I was going to go see Ozfest. I was so pissed because that was like one of the few bands that I never had a chance to see. Have that in vinyl. I used to have a whole bunch of them. I know I brought some of my vinyls back. I don't remember if I got them all. John Bonham, yeah. What's going on, Red Gaze? Good to see you. Traveling in a fried out combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombie. Please, people, Viking is not the name of our people. It's Norsemen. We're Northmen. We called going out to sea and rob and kill and rape to go Viking. It's a job description, not a people. Yeah, absolutely, Luffy. But the other thing is most people who they attribute as being the Vikings were Northmen or Norsemen. Sometimes they were just called Danes and everything too. Is a lot of them didn't even do all pillaging. Some of them were just traders. There's actually proof that a lot of them were just doing trading, nothing but trading. It was the ones that weren't making enough money doing just regular trading that were doing all the pillaging and looting. The songs are listed in the credits of each movie. Yeah. Link to Wookiee Supremacy. Awesome. Thank you. I'm not creative. I appreciate you dropping those links in there for us. Heard the Iron Maiden frontman been flying troops home. Really? Which one? They had a few different frontmen. Yeah, I still say Bruce Dickinson is the only person that really should have sung for Iron Maiden. Yeah, Shadowhawks. Yeah, I've never had the fortune. I had never had the fortune to see them. Another band I missed out on a couple times because I was working was freaking Suicidal Tendencies. And boy, that's another one that pissed me off. Yeah, Wookiee Supremacy. Ozfest was great. I got to mute you there, Jens. It's getting loud. It's going to blow out my good ear. Zombies are on Twitter. Zombies have always been on Twitter. There were 3 Viking nations: the Danes, the Swedes, and the Norwegians. Yeah, I was also seen something where they were saying that there were small parts of Finland too, where some of them were considered part of that whole group that would go out. But that, a lot of that stuff is kind of like lost to history. Who really knows for sure? Always loot before you burn. Ozfest was my summer event for years. I saw so many good bands. And that was another good thing I used to like about Ozfest is they would give you those free sampler discs for the newer bands that they had coming up on the smaller stages when they started doing them. Because initially, when I first went, they only had the one big stage. They didn't even have a smaller stage. And then they wound up creating one smaller stage. So they had lower tier bands playing on smaller stage, just trying to get noticed. Then the last year I went, was it the last 2 years? Yeah, it was the last 2 years that I went. They actually had 3 stages. So they had 2 smaller stages. Sometimes they had 2 bands playing at the same time. And then they had the main stage reserved for all the big bands. But holy crap, I seen all kinds of different people. Like I'd seen a Drowning Pool. It was within that same year before that frontman died for Drowning Pool. So yeah, I seen a lot of different bands at freaking Ozfest. That was great. So much fun to go there.
Yeah, I wish I'd have gone.
Never had the chance, huh?
Couldn't afford it. The tickets are fucking really expensive, like 200, 300 quid sort of thing, aren't they? Like about $400, $500 in that.
Wow, really? That much?
Yeah, for us. Because I think it was a 3-day festival or something, wasn't it? That's
only if you got the 3-day pass. Because when I got mine as a single day pass. So I think mine only came out to maybe about $50 a ticket. Maybe 70, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Well, it was too much for me. It was like, I couldn't afford it. I couldn't even afford one day. Never mind, like the 2 or 3 days. I think it was all problem.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Yeah, and Dimebag. Yeah, I did see Pantera was another one that I seen at Ozfest. Seen them. I seen Slayer, Megadeth. Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson, like all kinds of bands. Slipknot. Dude, are you in the Chicago area? Who? Jens? Or me? I'm not. I'm nowhere near Chicago.
Some do playing and that. They love his music, but
Red Gay says, I hear Netflix is working on an Aztec action drama with a ginger lead. Really? The last Ozfest was free, huh? Yeah, by then I couldn't go to those shows anymore. I was having too many freaking problems. There was no way that I could have went to any of them. In 1996, I saw Blink 182 before they got big. There was a few of those bands I remember seeing before they got big at Ozfest. I've been to Vans Fest. Those were fun. Blink was opening for the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Nice. I swear I saw Drowning Pool on the side stage before they even hit the radio. I know when I seen them, they had just started to hit the radio. They weren't really big yet. They didn't really hit like, the major, like they were just, it was like, or it was just before they really hit big, or maybe it could have even been right after. But yeah, they wound up on a small stage. And the thing that killed me is I don't know how people are going to take this one, but Black Label Society, that I can't stand the Black Label Society, the Zakk Wylde shit. I hate it.
what?
I can't stand it.
What?
I hate it. I don't know how that guy got on the main stage. I don't know how. And then he got on the main stage and he was top billing. He was top bill over Marilyn Manson. He was top bill over Rob Zombie. Like, get out of here. I'm sorry. No, not even close.
No, he's fucking real good.
It's not to say the guy isn't a good guitar player, but like the songs, I did not like the songs that they were doing as a band. And quite honestly, they sound horrible. It's like listening to Linkin Park live. Like Linkin Park is a studio band. You hear them live, they sound like absolute garbage. I mean, granted, you're not going to hear them live anymore, but before the singer killed himself, but yeah, they were horrible live. Just horrendous. I've seen them 2 years in a row, and they sucked both times. They were so bad. Oh, I'm not Creative 22. I'm going to start streaming on my channel sometime soon, within days, if my internet does not crap out. Yeah, and that's always the gamble, isn't it? If the internet can handle it. Warped Tour was cool. Used to go hang out and pick up rock chicks. Yeah. There was a couple other bands that were on like the Warped Tour and everything, like Korn. I know Korn was at one of the Ozfests I went to. Yeah, man, tons of bands, just tons of bands. I knew Brad Paisley before he was big. Hey, Wookie doesn't like Kiss either. I'm not a huge Kiss fan either. Because Zakk Wylde is best friends with Ozzy. Yeah, I know. I thought the band was it was subpar. I never seen what the big deal was. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the perks right there. Awesome. Linkin Park turned me off of Transformers for a moment after they kept playing their song in the movie. They were playing some of their songs everywhere. Like you heard the scene was that crawling in my skin. Oh, it was making my skin crawl hearing it every 5 minutes on the radio. Zakk Wylde was Ozzy's guitar player after all, so no wonder he got, yeah, everybody's saying the same thing. I know that's why, but it's still like really? Like over Rob Zombie and over Marilyn Manson, who both put on amazing stage performances. Like, holy shit, were their performances freaking like top notch. I don't think I've ever seen a band play, especially in an outdoor venue, where their stage performance that looked that freaking good. Family Values instead of Warp, yeah. Drowning, yeah, it was a shame. That band wasn't the same after he was gone. Kiss is pussy metal. What? Kiss is awesome. Oh no. Is it going to start a Kiss fight? A Kiss fight? Come on, kids. Kiss and make up. Real kiss, not clone kiss. Steve Ray Vaughan, sober is better than the addicted guy. I'm not a huge Black Label Society fan either. Red Gaze is glam or hair metal. Oh, no. Kiss is glam or hair metal. I would say it's probably a little bit of both, really. 2 or 3 good songs. I think you're probably giving them a little bit more than they deserve. I saw Kiss at the State Fair, and Paul spent the entire time spanking himself. Not an exaggeration. That's nasty. Why were you watching, Wookie? What were you doing in life at that time that you had nothing better to do than sit there and stare at Paul? What was going on? Luffy, you have a channel. You do now. Well, if you're on here, technically, you have a channel. Whether or not you have content is a whole different story. Oh, Red is getting glamorous with the kisses. Nice, Red. Nice. I saw Manson on the Antichrist Superstar tour. There were churches protesting. It was hilarious. Yeah, he didn't care, though. He absolutely did not care. And that's what made him great. And a lot of the other bands that did some of the same shit, like Rob Zombie was another one. He didn't give a damn what people thought. Typo Negative, they would do every once in a while, do some outlandish shit. I seen them on Halloween night 2 years in a row at the Trocadero in Philly. And the one year they were dressed up like zombies with like skin hanging off their faces and everything like that. Like the type of shit that the Bible thumpers would have been losing their minds over. Seeing Kiss, it was free show with a mission. Luffy's got my band, putting everyone's link in. No time to see what is on it. No worries. Couldn't leave. I saw Candlebox the same weekend. Now, Wookie, this is not looking good. Oh, Jens is back. There he is.
Yeah. That room, I think it was like blocking the signal. So yeah, I got cut off. But I'm outside now, so I've got I should have like a good signal.
All right, so I have one other topic that I was going to bring up today. We're actually an hour and a half in. I wasn't sure that we were going to be talking about bands for that long. That was an interesting little run on the conversation about bands, and then people started talking about weird bands that they've seen on stage and the strange things they were doing, like spanking. Wookie, I'm looking at you. But I have another oddball toy here that I wanted to bring up. That I actually found this one over the house. I've actually had this since I was a little kid. And I'm actually kind of shocked it's still in decent shape. But here we go.
Escape artist.
You're going to have to get it, isn't it?
Escape artist number 2.
So today we are taking it back to 1976, Tomy Toys, Mighty Max. This one I've had since I was a kid, and this one is very interesting. Granted, I don't have all the parts that came with him. I know he came with a shield, a helmet, and I believe it was either a gun or a sword. I believe it was a gun though. And he also came with a powered up sled that I will show in a minute. This one was interesting because all those little nuts that are on there, you can actually unscrew them and put them in different configurations on the figure. This was the beginning of the transforming type of robot, I do believe. I don't think nobody came out with one before then that actually had this feature. And while the posability may look a little outlandish today with the way some of the toys are being done with articulation, this one had a fair amount of articulation for such, number one, a large toy, and for the time frame that it came out. The interesting thing on this one is if you look at this head, it's actually sitting on a full ball joint. Very interesting. There were a few companies that were doing this, including Takara with their Microman, where they had a ball joint on the head, they had a ball joint at the wrist, and they also had a ball joint at the ankle.
Granted, this guy didn't have all that. He is quite large. He's got the turn at the waist and, of course, the legs, knees, and the ankles, as well as the shoulders, arms, and the hands.
So I have his sled out. Unfortunately, there is a back wheel section which I just could not seem to find with the figure. Maybe it's in one of the crates, but it may be lost to the rabbits of time. But I actually put some C batteries in this thing, and believe it or not, it still works. So what he has on him is a bit of a hook system where you can put anywhere, turn them on, and there's a power glide and take them up to that hook. So with the sled sitting out, in addition to the winch that's on the front, he also had the side pieces. I forget exactly what attached on there, but there was something that attached on the side. And he's also got this like little ram piece that you just tap the back and the ram comes out. Pretty interesting toy from 1976.
Yeah. Pretty good there, yeah.
Yeah, that's a different one. That was one of the ones, like I said, I've had for a long time. I'd never heard of the Mighty Max. I know a lot of people haven't. Missing in action is the guinea pig cut. Red Gaze, I hear you. That the name was kind of silly. Yeah, Mighty Max never grabbed my attention because his name was super gay. Names are really important. Yeah, his name was Mighty Max, the Maximum Man. So one of the things that I did forget about is the front of that bumper of the sled. That was actually not just a regular ram. So what it is when you pushed on the back end and that ram set out, the minute it hit a wall, it actually reversed the motor on the sled and it would go in the opposite direction. I literally forgot all about that because, I mean, I haven't seen this thing probably in over 30 plus years. Plus, it's missing the back wheels for some reason. The back wheels just kind of had like a plug. Like it had like a big cross beam with the wheels on the ends and had a little plug that just sat in the back end and it would make it roll a little bit easier as it was. That one was dragging, but even then, that thing's from 1976 and it's still able to go with just some batteries in it. Shocking, actually. I thought for sure it would never work. Yeah, never even heard this figure. And not a Micronaut. It's from Tomy Toys. Micronauts were actually brought over by Mego from Takara, who made the Transformers originally. Takara made Microman. Mego brought it over and imported it as Micronauts. Mighty Max is more active than the current president. Yeah, that's sad, isn't it? Got more articulation too. Yeah, it is a very large toy. It just comes into, what is it? Like it comes in at just around 12 inches or maybe just over 12 inches. It's a decent sized toy. What I really want to stream is Crash Bandicoot 4, but I can't figure out how to stream on Xbox. I know there was a way to do it. I just don't know how. I've never tried to do it myself.
You'll get OBS. Yeah, you only get Streamlabs, OBS, and there's like an option where you can where you have to get some cables and fucking wire it into your, or fix it into your laptop or PC that has like a but it's like so you can watch stuff on it anyway.
True that. Mighty Max sounds like an Isuzu pickup truck. And what's going on, Nana Reaper? Yeah, I know that damn thing. That motor was actually straining because it was just dragging the whole sled across the little setup that I have for it. But like I said, surprisingly, it still works. And what I'm going to wind up doing with this thing, because he's in kind of rough shape because of the way he was stored and the way he was a little beat up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a hold of Toy Hacks. I'm going to see if they have stickers available for it. And if not, if I could talk to them about possibly being able to make them. Because sometimes if you send them the stickers or if you send them old toys, they will actually scan out these stickers and they will actually make them so they can put them in their catalog in case anybody ever requires them. So I'm going to contact them to see if maybe they can remake these stickers for me. And if they can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wind up cleaning this guy up. I'm going to try to take as many of the dings and scrapes and scratches out of him as I possibly can. The chest did get a little bit yellowed, so I'm actually going to clean that up. I have a way to actually de-yellow that chest and turn it white again. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to try to spiff this guy up and make him look like he's brand new again. Hopefully I could find the rest of his parts. He did come with a shield. He did come with a helmet. I thought it was a sword or a gun. It actually was like a lance. And it doesn't even really look like a lance. It's really odd. But I had to go through the old catalog pictures for it to find out what it was. So I may have packed that stuff away, but I'm not sure. If I could find it all, that'd be great to set him all up with all his original pieces again. I just hope I can find his back wheels. But the funny thing is that Tomy made this stuff, and later on they wound up getting bought out by Takara, and Takara now owns Tomy. That's why it's called Takara Tomy. But yeah, Tomy was another Japanese company that was actually in competition with Takara.
All right. Yeah. I think remember you saying one time, yeah, because they made them little dudes, didn't they?
Yeah. Takara made the little Micromen.
Yeah.
They made Microman, and like somebody, they were saying earlier, the Glinzer was asking if it was a Micronaut, and what they wound up doing is they imported it into the States by way of Mego, and Mego renamed it Micronauts, and then they came out with a comic book to actually help promote the toy line. But I mean, if you look back, really the beginning of Transformers, while technically most people say it starts with Microman, it starts even before that. It actually starts with G.I. Joe. Because G.I. Joe, the original 12-inch figures, they were loaned out to Takara of Japan so they could to sell G.I. Joe type figures in Japan. Well, they weren't selling very well in Japan. They didn't really want to see, soldiers looking at the history of Japan with the bombs and everything like that. It was not something that the kids really still wanted to play with. So then they started redoing the outfits for the G.I. Joes, and they were giving them superhero outfits and everything like that. And it did well for a little while, but it started fading off. So then they completely took the G.I. Joe model of the figure. They redesigned it completely. They gave it like clear plastic and everything, and gave it like inner guts that were like chromed out, and a chromed head, and they called it the Henshin Cyborg. And they gave it with like detachable limbs that were like turned into, like you pop the arms off and you could put a gun arm on and all this different stuff. And they had that for quite a few years. And then they had the big oil crisis in the mid 70s. And it was driving the price of oil and petrol and everything up. So, I mean, obviously, the cost of plastics going up. So they said, well, let's shrink them down, and then we can make play sets and everything else. So then they shrunk them down to Microman. Then they wound up, they wound up adding the Micro Change line to the Microman line, and then they added the Diaclone line, and then eventually Hasbro came in and they brought those two completely separate lines together and rebrand them as Transformers. So technically, if you go back, even though Microman and the Henshin Cyborg are technically right before Transformers, it all goes back to G.I. Joe. And Lasso True said, if they can't do the stickers, maybe you could make them. Yeah. The only reason I would like to get Toy Hacks to do them is because they do them really professional. I don't know if you've ever seen some of the stuff Toy Hacks does. Extremely professional the way they make stickers. Like they do ones for all these different toy lines, especially Transformers. Oh man, these things are like picture perfect. I actually picked up a few of the sticker sheets for like Optimus Prime and a few of the other ones where I had multiples of the toy and I wanted to put brand new stickers on them after I fixed them up. Yeah, they're they're amazing looking. They even have like the little bit of like that metallic shine to some of the stickers. Like, yeah, they do really good work. They used to be called Repro labels, and then they rebranded. Now they're called Toy Hacks. Kids that played with toys created the iconic property, Star Wars, etc., that Hollywood has bled dry. Absolutely. Link to the Enema King. Oops. I mean Stephen Walton. Oh, no. Going to head over to Sport to show support later on. Okay, Keck, you take care. Make sure you give them the old hashtag guinea pig swarm, guinea pig raid. Let them know. Link to Sports channel. I know we're probably going to be wrapping up pretty soon because there's a bunch of other people that are going to be going on tonight, including my buddy E-Tip. And I know Vinny's going to be over there. I believe, Red, you should be heading over there if you're not already getting ready to head over there now. But, I mean, there's always a lot of people going on Monday now. I remember one time Monday was it was free game. Like, nobody was doing nothing. Everybody's doing something on Monday. Yeah, what are you going to do? It is what it is. I'm still going to have fun. So, I actually had one other topic. I don't know if I'm going to get that other topic tonight. I don't know. But I do have one other thing I want to show, and this is for all the Guinea Pig Collective fans out there, and especially the Cliff Jumper fans out there.
About where it's going.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Tommy and of course Jumper is here as well. What's going on, Jumper? Wink wink. What's up, pal? Good buddy. And Cliff Jumper wanted to talk about his namesake. And of course here we have the G1 Cliff Jumpers. Now, we actually have the original 1984 with the yellow version as well, and the 2006 release that wound up being a keychain between them, except for the back where they put the sticker. It's fully chromed over with an Autobot sticker instead of the robotic sticker that they had on the back of the original one. Now, of course, the original Cliff Jumper was listed as a warrior, and his motto was strike first, strike fast, and strike hard.
Cliff Jumper, what are you doing?
I've got Megatron dead center in my viewfinder.
Let me at him is Cliff Jumper's motto. His eagerness and daring have no equal. He's driven by a desire to win the battle against the Decepticons. Finds Earth terrain a hindrance. One of the fastest Autobots. Often uses his speed to draw fire away from others. Shoots glass gas.
Try this! It's a gas!
Which makes metal as brittle as glass. His recklessness often leads to actual blowouts and situations too dangerous for him to handle. And of course, we have all three Cliff Jumpers in their robot forms. Of course, with many of the 1984 line of robots from the mini car selection that actually came over from Takara as part of their micro change line, these ones did not have a lot of articulation. Right, Jumper? But if we actually take the 2006 one, which is in the best shape since the other ones are original, he just had arm movement. That is pretty much it.
Yeah, man, I always love being able to talk Transformers. Where are you at, Wookie? Hit another dab. I mentioned Transformers again. I did it again. Nice. Yeah, Jumper. Jumper actually is a bit of a ham when it comes to the camera. Like, as far as, like, I have Jumper around he doesn't really wink until I put the camera on him. Once I put the camera on him, that's when he starts winking for the camera, and he'll start nosing up to the camera. He's a ham. He's absolutely hilarious. That's right. Well, hit another one. I mentioned Transformers so many times in one stream. You should be like passed out on the floor. Toy break is a great sequence. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something that actually related to my channel. I know everybody does like little timeouts, or they do breaks. I know ETEP was doing a break, and it was kind of like, I wanted to do something like that. So I kind of like took the idea of what ETEP was doing for a break, and the way Wookie was doing some of his videos with a whole bunch of the splashes for all these different stills, or like different small like gifts and everything like that. And I put all that together as part of the toy break intro, and then of course talk about a specific toy. And I could actually start going through a whole bunch of these older ones that I haven't had a chance to really do anything with. Now I could do them as toy breaks, since a lot of them are not going to have a whole lot to talk about if I go through the history of them. I mean, I'm not going to do the entire history of the Diaclone line every time I talk about one, but if I'm just talking about the individual characters, I mean, how long is that conversation going to go on? Yeah. Autobots roll out. But no, you know what? To actually have some of these toys, and then to be able to show them off too, is a lot of fun. But then to have my good buddy Cliff Jumper there, like having fun in the background while I'm doing it, that's a blast. He's one of the few pigs that were literally sit in the background for the entire video and have fun doing it. But I am planning on doing a lot more of those toy breaks as the time goes on. I might do something similar for the Thursday show as well. I just haven't quite made up my mind, because obviously if I do anything like that over there, it's not going to be the older stuff. It's going to be probably the newer stuff that I just don't have any. I just don't have enough material to do a whole video on. Like, let's just say if I have a couple Masters of the Universe figures, I mean, it's going to be an extremely short, video on it, or a short clip. So I'll just make them like little breaks. It'd be interesting. But I've got so many other things to do first before I can do that. And creating brand new intro and outro for them, because I'm not going to use the same one that I'm using here. That would be lazy, and I'm not about that life. But anything else you want to add to that, Jens? Been awfully silent.
I'm walking because the open mic night, it was one of them where fucking were booked so fully, and so it was one of them cunts that like fucking say, oh yeah, I'll get you on, but he didn't. I think he just saw you buy beer, and because I wasn't buying loads of beer, I think he got a bit arsey. But yeah, I'm like, one of them where it's like, okay, well, I'll find somewhere else to play.
So when have you gone into those open mic nights then? Like to play yourself?
Yeah. Well, he's one of them. He don't really like me because I fucking like go in there and get real battered and that, and then like fucking sometimes he knows like I'm drinking before I go, but this time I didn't though, and so fucking like he got no excuse. But even if I drink before I go, it's like, well, Well, but he's one of them where he don't really like me because I'm one of them where I'll call the soy cunts out, and he has some, as you heard, he'll have some soy cunts on there, and so. But there was some good. I would get guitarists on there, but. Yeah.
Hey, here you go. Wookie said that you need subtitles. He needs so I got it for you. Blah blah something cunt. Oh, I probably should have added soy in there too. Damn it.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I got to be a wise ass every once in a while. I wouldn't be me if I wasn't.
Yeah.
I saw a Dr. Fauci doll, but it had no horns, no tail, no pitchfork. What a ripoff. Yeah, you know, me and Vinny were talking about figuring out ways to actually make a Fauci doll that transforms into a giant booster needle. Yeah, right. Guinea pig lives matter. Absolutely. That is the one toy I would not mind attaching a firecracker to. You're wrong. I'm not creative. You're wrong. Just follow the science. I am the science. We love you, Jens. Now, I remember back in the day when, before we actually had our band situated, we would go out to open mics, just try to get everybody in time with some of the songs. Because, I mean, you could do it in a rehearsal space, but unless you're actually sitting up there in front of people playing, sometimes you don't know if you're going to keep time with the band or not, you know, because all the background noise and everything like that messes some people up. And our drummer had a problem with that sometimes. Like, used to drive me absolutely insane.
Yeah. It's good to get like used to playing to a crowd and that.
Well, like I said, it's some of the residual noise. Like when you're practicing in a rehearsal space and it's dead quiet and there's nothing but you and the other members of your band, it's a lot easier to try to keep in time. But when you got all this residual noise, glasses clinking, people yelling, or people, you know what I mean? If you can't play in that environment, you're not going to be playing music for very long. Yeah, Fauci science.
Yeah. The Blues Brothers sort of stuff. Getting bold.
That's what Fauci says. I am the science. No, I thought you were going to say something, and then nothing. Nothing. Okay, laughing out loud, Fauci. Fauci is the Faustocron, the planet jabbing destroyer. You're not wrong, RR. You're not wrong. Follow the science. I'm going to destroy the whole world. Everybody's going to get a booster. 10, 12 boosters. Or as I always say, as many as it takes. Stop worrying about your freedom. Just get as many shots as you need. Remember, my pal in that show, Booster, was the guy from Jiggle All the Way. He was his partner in crime. Booster had the boosters. Fauci stole the idea from me, but I still support him. Screw your freedoms. I no doubt. Always good to see you, RR. Now, I don't know. I think it would absolutely hilarious if Vinny and I could figure out a way to make that figure. That would be fantastic. Solar Warden, you have a good one. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have an awesome week. Remember, at least for most of us, it's just getting started. I'm telling you, me and Vinny were talking this. We were seriously discussing this, like how we could make a Fauci transformer that turned into a booster needle. I mean, maybe we could turn, we can get a Kamala Harris that maybe, I don't know, what would Kamala Harris turn into? A used condom? No, that would be presuming that she plays things safely. I'm gonna have to think about that one. Maybe like a spittoon, like when she gets done, she. The COVID czar. Oh no. So what do you got going on this week here, Jens?
Well, we're waiting.
Jens! Holy shit, you guys! We lost Jens! Jens? Jens! Harris turns into dirt. Yeah, Booster. Jens! Where are you, Jens? Have you died? I think he's gone away.
Scan for identification.
No, Jens. We lost him. It was bound to happen sooner or later. Sooner or later, poor Jens was going to get lost. He was sitting there listening to all that music. They were probably have a Beatles cover band going on, and Jens didn't want to miss it. He's probably got a bowl on his head right now, shaving it down so he can go on stage. Good luck with the Beatles stuff, Jens. I know you're going to do everybody proud. Just don't mention us when you go up there. But guys, no, this has been an absolute bad blast. It's been fun. Oh, Jens is back. He's back. Going to talk about what you got going on this week, man? I mean, or are you going to talk about
You know me, but I don't remember smelling you before. Who are you and where do you come from?
Yeah, I've got a video coming up. I need to get it out there and that about the Star Trek Discovery Stacey Abrams appearance in it, which I don't know what's I haven't even seen any of the Star Trek Discovery, so apart from bits that have been like so outrageous, like Stacey Abrams being in it, like just gotta like see crazy bits like that and yeah, talk about that. Well, it's mainly me just gonna be slagging off soy nerds again, and probably like the last one, a 5-minute rant of me just screaming soy nerd bitches.
like the old days?
Yeah. You know what I mean, like that. But yeah, I had to have a rest though. But not though, Tomy, man, you don't tell me that anyone who's watching Star Trek Discovery ain't a soy fucking nerd bitch.
Yeah,
even if they're watching it like Doomcock, even if they're watching it just to rag it, it's like, oh.
I know. I don't understand why people hate watch stuff. And what's going on, Brian Christigo? I know we're just getting ready to wrap up. Real quick, I'm not Creative 22. I'm not even a Trekkie fan, and I know that having Stacey Abrams is a total joke for her to be even in there. Yeah, and I don't understand why these people hate watches stuff, Jens. Absolutely, I don't.
Well,
if you hate it that much and you know it's trash, why are you wasting your time giving them your time and energy? You're helping them by hate watching that shit.
Yeah, well, Doomcock is his sort of like job, isn't it? So he can claim this. Still, it's like, oh no, just gonna soy you. It's like it'll rub off on you sooner or later. That soyness. So yeah.
Are you still doing your bonds?
No.
No, all done with that now?
Yeah, I don't do bonds. No. But yeah, and then
I thought you were doing the Bond movies. Bond.
Oh, well, you said bong. As in like
James Bond.
Yeah. Well, like and tomorrow, I don't know what time and that. But did you say you wanted to come on the stream tomorrow, or was it someone else?
That was that Nelson the gentleman that said that, I believe?
Right, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, I'll drop Nelson a link in that, yeah. Yeah, I'll be doing a stream tomorrow. I don't know what the fuck about though. Like, I haven't been really watching much. Well, I have been, but it's been more political, and so I really need to start streaming on the Odyssey channel to do more political stuff, or else YouTube will just fucking take it down and that shit. So, but yeah, and then Bond, which on the Wednesday, 12 o'clock should be Greenwich Mean Time, like British time sort of thing. So because I think it's 4 hours behind now, in it. Because what time? You're on the East Coast, aren't you?
Yeah,
Tommy?
yeah. It's 8 p.m. here, even.
Right, yeah. And so it should be 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, and then that's 7 p.m. Central, isn't it? And I forget what, but
It's a 3 hour earlier difference for the West Coast time, Pacific.
right.
So that would actually, if it's 8, it would be 5 p.m. Pacific.
Right, yeah. And where I'll be doing the Bond review and full spoilers of Moonraker, where a Moonraker goes. In that great film, though, great film. Got Richard Keel in it as Jaws again. Where he gets to say a few lines at the end, because the Spy Who Loved Me, he don't say anything, he just smiles, and it's more facial acting with him, where
one of these days I got to dig out those. I have a few James Bond toys, and I was never a big James Bond fan, but I had a few of the little mini cars that were done. So I have it's the Lotus, the white Lotus, where it's got like the submarine fins and everything out on it, and then I have the other one, the little Aston Martin silver car, where it's got a button on the side. And it used to have a guy in an ejector seat, but somehow the guy in the ejector seat got lost.
Yeah, well, he got ejected out, wasn't it? It was one of them where, he didn't go real far, but it was a bit unpredictable where he'd land.
Well, it was so tiny. I mean, there's a little Matchbox cars, and to figure to sit on the seat like that, that was a tiny little thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember having one of them, but I've got a Lotus, White Lotus, because there's a red Lotus that like is in for your eyes only. It gets blown up. Spoilers. But the White Lotus, with the fins and that in a like little case with a looks like a little postcard of the Spy Who Loved Me poster.
Yeah. You know what? I had a friend of mine, the larger scale, I forget what scale that's in, but they made obviously they made the ones that were like Matchbox size. And it wasn't by Matchbox. I forget which company it's by. I'd actually have to go find the actual cars to see which company made them. But they made one in a little bit of a larger scale. And I remember a friend of mine had that Lotus one where everything folded in, like the fins and everything folded in. Back cover, like it folded up or something, like everything worked like it did in the movie. And it actually had the thing where it was like it opened up in the back where it had like 2 missiles that fired out. It was supposed to be like torpedoes or something.
Yeah. Well, no, there was like ground to air missiles, because
is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, because in the film he gets submerged underwater, but there's a helicopter that's hovering above, because like just to see like where Bond's gone to and that, And so he fires a missile, like shoots upwards, goes straight up out of the water and just blows the helicopter up.
Oh no. Stacey Abrams is the next Bond? No! You must be joking. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It was a booster seat. But I'm not sure. I don't know if Slasher's still in the chat or not. I don't know if he's going to be doing his B-rated movie talks on Wednesday or not. I will see what's going on. I know this week, tomorrow's going to be a bit of a pain for me. I'm not 100% sure if Drew's going to be able to stream, considering everything that's going on with his mom right now. But I know I have to take the guinea pigs out to the vet tomorrow, and I'm going to be hard pressed to get back in time. But I think I might make it if Drew does go live. I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. If I'm late, I might only be a few minutes late. Of course, you got Tony Tone Deaf go rocking tomorrow with the Monday night retrospective. And of course, right now, people, as we're wrapping up, hey, what's going on? Jason Lee Tucker, we're just wrapping up, my good friend. Stop on over. I'm pretty sure Scotty's still going. And after that, at 8:30, ETEP and the crew are going to be going in Raw for Monday night. Be sure to stop by there. And man, make sure you tell them that the guinea pig sent you. I appreciate every last one of you stopped in. Lasser, Truth RR, Glinzer, I'm Not Creative 22. I know Nelson the Gentleman was earlier. Red Gaze, of course. Chaos Hoy, Wookie, Brian Crisco. Everybody that has stopped in, all of you, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for coming every single week. Killy Chow, thank you as well. Great show. Thank you so much. I appreciate it every time you guys stop in, every time you guys share the link out, because YouTube is they like to play games with me. They like to make sure that I just don't get seen, and I want to show them a big giant middle finger when we one day cross that finish line and this channel actually gets a little bit bigger, and I'm going to be able to get in more guests. I'm going to be able to get in more people talking about the things we love. I'm actually putting some stuff together where we're actually going to talk about the animated Lord of the Rings and the animated version of The Hobbit. I love those versions. I grew up on that one because the Hobbit came out in, what was that, like 1977, man. I love that thing. That was the first one I ever seen. So it holds a special place in my heart. That's why I had that mini clip for the outro when I'm giving everybody their chance to say their piece about what they're going to be doing on their channels. That's why I had to pull that up, because that one means a lot to me. And I like to go back and reminisce about those things that I love. And I like to share it with people that maybe have never seen it before. Like apparently I'm Not Creative didn't know that was Battlestar Galactica, that little clip right there.
Scan for identification.
I love that show growing up when I was younger too, and we did a whole talk about that. I mean, it's the things like that that we're actually passing on to people, or maybe reminding people. This is the fun stuff. This is the stuff where we go back in the past and we remember exactly why we're fighting this culture war with these absolutely lame-brained idiots that are trying to destroy everything that we love. You got to start from that place of, why do you want to fight for it? Because that's why. You could come here and you could see that stuff from the past and remember that is exactly what I like. That is what I grew up with. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. And then you could tell these people, this is exactly why I'm fighting for, because it had this. It had these type of characters. It had products that we wanted to buy, shit that they don't have today. That's why you got to do that stuff. Yeah, you know what? And even in 85, there was still a lot of good stuff. I'm Not Creative in 85 that did not have all this trash agenda that they had. I mean, you still had the G.I. Joe line that was going strong. You had He-Man. You had Transformers. You had Silverhawks. You had Thundercats. You had so many different franchises that were truly amazing that they're destroying today. But you got to start from that place of why do you want to protect it? What do you love about it? It was the characters. It was the production value. It was the respect that they paid to the fans. The shit that they won't do today. Because if you don't like their vision, they call you a racist. They call you a sexist. They call you a phobe. This is all they know. Why? Because they don't have anything. They have no creativity. And the only thing that they want to do is inject their garbage ass politics into the shows that we love. Because why? Because they know that most of us are probably going to check it out because, oh, I remember that when I was a kid and we don't know about it. And we go and we watch this trash anyway. At least some of us do. I wised up to it a long time ago when I started seeing all the remakes that Hollywood was doing. And I started ignoring a lot of the new stuff that was coming out because I didn't want no part of it. No part whatsoever. I'm not going to waste my time giving them views on something that I don't like and then just get mad about it later on. This is why I didn't watch shit from the Star Wars after The Force Awakens. I didn't want to watch any of it. Never watched The Last Jedi, never watched The Rise of Skywalkers, and I never will. I don't want no part of it. I never watched Captain
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, it's all just such trash. And I refuse to watch any of the other stuff. I don't even want to watch Endgame because of the garbage politics that Disney pushes. The Hobbit and the Return of the King were so distinct that were well done. Yeah, and they have all those little nifty little songs in there. Lord of the Rings by Ralph Bakshi was good too. Yeah. Well, that was the thing. You had the Lord of the Rings by him, and then it came back to Rankin Bass when they did the Return of the King, the same as the Hobbit, and the same style too. Yeah, absolutely. Promote your show, man. Absolutely. Everybody should be promoting their channels when they're in here. And you know what? If you guys haven't had a chance, make sure you stop by and see Jason Lee when he goes live. I know sometimes YouTube likes to play games with him too. Matter of fact, I was unsubscribed from his channel pretty recently. I was like, what the hell? I stopped in the chat and I seen I was unsubscribed. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Things started going major shit in 2010s. Yeah, well, I mean, it started actually a little before that. Most people didn't realize it. Yeah, well, it was like late 90s, early 2000s. I know Marvel, it started somewhere around like 2003 when the one guy got in charge. Oh,
I reckon it started with Wonder Woman comics because it was originally designed for women. But for some reason, and I know the reason why, but I'm not going to say because we don't want to lose like any viewers around. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, Silverhawks. That's another one. I'm waiting to see what they're doing with that, Jason Lee, because there is a guy who says he loves the Silverhawks franchise and the toy line, and he's trying to do a revival for it. He says he plans on paying respect to the original, and we'll see what happens. I'll be paying close attention to it, and if it looks like it might be good, I'll say so. Today is transgenders more than meets the eye, and that's absolutely disgustingly true, and they just keep pushing that agenda. It's such a small minority of people thinking that they should be in everything and be everywhere, and that they're the only ones that should be heard. I mean, they act like they're a race all to themselves, like they're a new minority. Like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about that shit in the 90s. Nobody cared. They didn't care. You were gay, so what? Nobody cared. But they want to make a big deal out of it. And well, if you don't sit there and bow down to me, you're a phobe and you're an ist, and we're going to cancel you. Go ahead and try to cancel me. You're not going to get very far because I give no shits. I give no shits. Yeah. Characters and stories not only entertained, they taught human nature and morality. And they did that on a lot of those shows. And that was a big key feature to a lot of those shows. They wanted a message behind it. Now they teach us how to be a shithead. Absolutely correct. And some of the garbage that you see that they're doing in the schools, like that one teacher that was masturbating in front of his students, that kind of shit, they don't want to talk about that. Oh, they bury that shit in news feeds.
That's education. What you don't want your kids growing up not knowing what sex is. You don't want your kids growing up not knowing what it is like to watch a grown man masturbate. You some kind of fucking masturbating phobe.
Ugh, nasty, disgusting people. Big Mike and Barry effect. Jason Lee added some wrestling videos. Awesome. Hey, you should let Slasher know. Maybe you should hit Slasher up sometime. He loves wrestling stuff too, man. We had an amazing discussion. That was probably about a year and a half ago, man. We just went into wrestling, and an hour and a half later, we finally divulged off that topic. It was crazy. Yeah, say it. Yeah. Some things were shit in the 2000s. Afterwards, major shit. Yeah, like I was saying, like at Marvel, when Joe Quesada took over at Marvel, he started injecting a lot of that garbage politics and agenda shit into the comics. And most people didn't see it very much at first, but it was there. He was the one that came up with the whole Steve Rogers wasn't even the original Captain America. It was this black guy that was before him, and it happened during Pearl Harbor and blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, whatever. Just retroactively destroy everything just for an agenda. Get out of my face with that shit. Create a new character. It's been done in the past, and they've done well. They're just afraid to do it because they don't want to take the chance of failing. We do not kneel.
And it's to destroy like Western sort of culture icons.
And that's the whole thing. They're trying to destroy icons. And now a lot of people will sit there and say, well, it doesn't matter. It's just a toy franchise. It's just a cartoon. Or it's just that. Well, you know what? Well, where are all the things from ancient Rome, ancient Greece, or ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia? You know, they were stories that were passed down as well. How much of them are really true? It doesn't make a difference. They were passed down and they became myth. And a lot of these characters that are in comics and in movies and toy lines and franchises and stuff, they are modern myths. I know Walton always says that a lot. I mean, I was saying it too. Like before I even met up with Walton, I was saying the same damn thing. We were on the same exact line of thinking right there. These are our modern myths. These are the things that we grew up with. These are the things that mean something to us. And to watch these people that have no love for these franchises just retroactively try to destroy them for the sake of their agenda, it's beyond nerve-wracking. Today's school is a joke. It absolutely is. I hate that retrofitting bullshit. So do I. 80s, late 90s, and early 2000s wrestling were golden ages. Yeah, absolutely. Like the rise of the NWO, and that's what we're just getting into on Tuesday nights over on Tony's channel. That was the time. If you were a wrestling fan, that was the time to be one, because it was an amazing time. All the creativity that came out of the adversity between those two companies trying to outdo one another. I've decided to write a fantasy novel, and no SJW is ever going to lay a finger on it. Nice. Do it, man. Yeah. We need more people. I know Kai did. I don't know if many of you checked out Kai MFS, but he wrote a book called Space Crime Domino. I picked it up kind of late to the game because everything was going on with my father. When I finally picked up, read it, man, I got to say, I was extremely impressed with the book. I am going to do a short review with the guinea pigs about it because I think he deserves a little more attention for that book. I think he did a wonderful job, and he's got more planned in the future to continue that story. So I'm looking forward to that. What's going on? Boom. Good to see you, buddy. They should have stopped the Infinity War. I liked Infinity War. I couldn't watch any more Disney. I mean, one of the things that still sticks in the back of my craw with Disney is that whole shit with that kid Ollie. That shit still irritates me. And then having Disney come after my channel multiple times just further pissed me off.
Yeah. Well, they are wanting, they've like eased off because they got so bad that it became sort of too obvious of what they was doing. But they're still going to be doing it. But yeah. They do know though, like, because they came. There's like one or two movies that like Disney are doing. Now we're okay, even though it's like one of them things where I don't like the company much, especially like I know what the agenda is, but there is like one or two half decent people there that like are trying to make like good films and that. So yeah. But
I mean, the biggest problem with Disney and other companies just like Disney is everybody. I know a lot of people, and I see it all the time, especially with people that follow like the Doomcock crowd. And it's not like I hate Doomcock. I just don't agree with a lot of what he says because they're under this mindset that KK is the beginning and the end of all the evil that's wrong with Disney Star Wars, and it's absolute bullshit. There's people above her pay grade that make these decisions to keep her in place. Because you know what? I will end it like this, talking about that shit with KK. KK did not rehire herself. the people above her seen what she was doing to the franchise, and they enjoyed it. They liked it. That's why they hired her with contract extensions, not once, but twice. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. It's right there in front of you.
No. Well, I think they're not too bothered as long as they get some half-decent Star Wars. Like, The Mandalorian, I thought was pretty good. And I liked Boba Fett, even though the moped, like, biker gang was fucking ridiculous. But
well, I think some of the things with those shows, and just a little bit I've heard about them, is they, once again, you go back to this idea of them breaking canon. Because there were certain things that were established, certain rules about the characters that were already pre-established, and they went and they broke them. And that's, you know, besides the fact that I hate Disney, I just will not watch them because of that reason. I won't watch it that breaks canon like that. I just can't do it. I mean, I know like a lot of people don't know about the backstory of the Mandalorians or about Boba Fett. So they don't have that information on them because not everybody is reading all the novels and all the other stuff that, you know, Lucas approved of. So they have no clue. So, I mean, it's easy to say, oh, well, I don't know nothing about that. And I mean, this looks okay to me because I don't know nothing about it. But for the people who did read all that stuff and do know about that backstory, it drives us crazy.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I'm not all that clued up on Boba Fett, apart from what I've seen in Star Wars. I don't know much of his backstory in that, apart from he escaped because they did do like a series run or whatever on Boba Fett, didn't they? A few books or whatever. And so, yeah, he escaped the Sarlacc pit and that.
Yeah,
and,
matter of fact, I have that series. It's called the Bounty Hunter Wars. And they actually talk about how he escapes the Sarlacc pit, and he actually gets help from Dengar of all people, who was the wrapped up bounty hunter that you've seen in Empire Strikes Back. He was the one that looks almost like a mummy, all wrapped up with the bandages. Yeah, he's the one that actually helps Boba Fett out. Yeah, or exactly. The sickness is way above KK. She's a symptom, not the cause. Exactly. I don't watch anything Disney and Marvel anymore now. Neither do I. I've completely stayed away from anything they're doing. And there's a few other companies I'm starting to like completely steer away from as well because I'm just so tired of it. Mandalorian was the last thing I watched from Disney. Star Wars is dead if you like the EU. Yeah, it absolutely is because they just do not care about any of those stories at all. And if you hear the Disney stands and the Disney apologists and the excuses they make for why it happens, it's absolutely ridiculous because they know nothing about the backstories. What's going on, George Lucas? I see George Lucas in the house is looking. He loves hearing thrown at Disney. I'll never watch a Disney-made film again. I think, you know, I'm starting to see more and more people that are thinking the same way because they're just tired of it. It just never ends with them. Because once they give you something like even halfway decent, they're going to come right back and they're going to slap you in the face with another one. It's like, yeah, screw you and screw everything you love. This is what we're going to do, and we don't care if you like it or not.
Yeah, well, they are soyifying looking Westerners. So, yeah, in the end, Batwoman's going to seem like a masterpiece.
I don't even want to watch the Batman. I'm just, you know, I'm kind of worn out on all the remakes of Batman.
I said when it was getting made that Robert Pattinson ain't going to be anywhere near that Batman suit, so the stunts are going to be good, and there is some good Batman stunts in that because it's all like the stunt dudes.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard that they're even possibly in talks with doing another Joker movie. Like, I don't why. It doesn't, you know, let it go. I mean, you did a good one, like a halfway decent one. I still say that movie is not as good as everybody hyped it up to be because rewatchability for me, I don't even want to see it again. I've seen it 3 times and I never want to watch it again. I've had my fill of it. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not something I want to keep rewatching. There's a lot of movies I could watch where I don't have to sit there and watch somebody be depressed through a whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stunt doubles did most of the movie. Yeah, that's what I've heard. But
apparently there was a stunt double that just did a scene that, like, probably any other actor would have done it, but it was like, well, Patterson's too skinny, and so we're going to have to CGI the fuck out of it, or just get the stunt double to do it, because he was wearing like a t-shirt.
yeah, man, rest in peace, Scott Hall. What a shame. What a shame how far that guy came. Pig World Order salutes him. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. Make sure to stop by and check out Jens. Make sure to stop by and see all our friends. And remember, guys, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not watch, because your silence gives consent. We'll catch you next time. Later, y'all.
All right.